Hey there, gang. Time for another unboxing video, so let's not waste any time on the preamble. If you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bobby. Welcome to Shanghala. My name is Duke, and this is an unboxing video. And as you can see, we've got Stan Lee here to help us out because I think this box is going to be pretty much a Bronze Age Mar-Vell box. So Stan might want to, he might want to peek at some of those books, some of the ones that said, he presented them, although he had very little, if anything, to do with any of them. So you may ask, you may be saying, Duke, how do you know what's in this box? You always tell us that you don't peek, you have no idea what's inside until we arrive, and that's when you crack into the box for the first time, once we're here to see and share that with you. Well, these are still books that I'm sorting through from that video I did a little bit back, where I was sorting through things that had gone unsold on eBay, or which sold but were never paid for. And we had like 8 long boxes of books. You'll remember that. Or if you don't remember it because you didn't see that video, it's there. It's in the archive. You can go back and take a look at it. But we sorted through all of those books, and I picked out some things that I thought maybe I would break up those multi-book lots and sell those books as singles. I thought they might work that way. And whether you remember or this is new information for you, the cutoff line for whether we stick a book in a multi-book lot or try and sell it as a single is about $10. Do we think it's going to sell for $10 on eBay? Because we've run the numbers, and about $7 is where we start to lose money. When you count the cost of acquiring a collection, mailing, shipping, the labor costs involved in all of the sorting and listing and grading and shipping back out, and then of course the overhead, the lights, the heat, the rent, that kind of thing. About $7 a lot on eBay is our break-even point. So we're looking to make at least $10 per lot. So since we're looking at making money in this video, in addition to my usual Legion ring, I also have an orange lantern ring here. So I'm double ringed this time out. So let's break into the first stack out of this box. And so your mission, as we go through these, is look at each book and tell me, do you agree with me? Will that book bring at least $10 on eBay? If you don't think so, let me know, Bubby. Let me know fast. You can contact me on Twitter, where I am at Shanghala. You can do it on Instagram, where I am at DuragoDuke. You can leave something in the comments below. And please do like, share, comment, do all of the groovy things. But yeah, let me know in a hurry before I get these relisted. Share with me your expertise. So here's one right off the top that I'm uncertain about. X-Force #1 doesn't do very well. We have spoken together before about the issues with condition in this particular book because of this seam in the poly bag. But this is an unopened poly bag. We'll try it as a single. This is an original trade paperback near the beginning of the run of the Excalibur title, but it's pretty beat up here along the edges. I wouldn't have expected this to do that well anyway, but in that condition, can you see those tick marks? Kind of stresses and tears there. I think this is something that, because my options are yes, sell it as a single, no, put it back in the mix for multi-book lots where we'll put together a bunch of books that we think will bring at least $10 combined. This I think is something that's just going to go right in a dollar box in our retail store, DOTCOM Comics in Freeport, Maine. And of course the seller name on eBay is .com Comics as well. So you may want to, whether you're interested in bidding on these or not, you may want to go ahead and check that out. Track these books. Usually it's about a couple of weeks after I get the video posted that you'll see those books start to show up on eBay, and check them out. Keep track. See how they do. See how many break the prediction of $10. So this one, Crisis on Infinite Earths, doesn't do quite as well as the Marvel Superhero Secret Wars event. It was roughly concurrent with this, but we will try issue 1. as a single. What the hell is this? Buck Rogers, the original space hero. Well, yes, he was. It's a #1 from TSR Comics. You know what, frankly? Well, that's not even a comic. Well, I guess it is a comic book. It's fairly decent art. I'll have to look that up, but I'm feeling like that's feeling like a dollar book to me as well, so I'll set that to the side. You know, another option for a revenue stream is sending things to CGC, and then those books are sold on a third-party site called comiclink.com. But anything that would go to a CGC, anything that's big enough, meaning something we would expect to sell for over $100, those were sorted out of these collections long ago. So I think that Defenders 33 is a good book. 34 is a good book. Pretty much anything in the 25-cent era, if it's at least a 6. So these are all goodies. Here's some Silver Age, and this Fantastic Four 40 is in pretty rough shape. So I think that's going to go into a lot. This one's in rough shape as well with some water damage, so that's bound for a lot. And this one has some water damage as well, so we're not going to try and sell that as a single. This one is pretty rough, but it's such an early issue, #21. What do you think? Should we try it? Is the cover actually detached? No, it's still attached. It's rough, but it's attached. We'll try it. #23. Well, it's only about half the cover, but we've seen books do well with with no cover. So I don't know. 23. It's an early Doctor Doom. We'll try it as a single. This one's no way. Holy hell, look at that. That one's not even really worth the dollar bin. That one should go right in the trash. It's got some actual mold on it. Yeah, that's no good. What do we got here? Amazing Spider-Man. So these are the McFarlane issues with Sabretooth on this one. So yeah, we'll try that as a single. Here's some more McFarlanes. These are, you know, from the 90s. But now, is this one actually McFarlane? It doesn't look like it's a McFarlane cover. Colleen Doran. I love Colleen Doran, but that one might want to go into a lot. You know, McFarlane really wasn't on Spider-Man very long, was he? Here's Eric Larson. And no knocks against Eric Larson, but he certainly does not bring... He doesn't command the kind of prices that McFarlane does. Here's a McFarlane, 328, cover anyway. And inside as well, so we will try that. That's the Grey Hulk period. Ka-Zar, Lord of the Jungle. That looks pretty good. 25 center. Those all look good. There's some... I call these ladder run. I was going to say these are ladder run Spider-Mans, and then I could hear you saying, what? I say ladder run only because it's about 212, where for me is kind of the cutoff mark where the book's worth selling as a single versus where it should go into a lot, apart from, you know, later key issues and, of course, as we just saw, the McFarlane issues. But these are high grade and right in there. Here's the Human Fly, the villain, not the hero. I think those should go as singles. Annual 27. That's probably good for a lot. I don't see that doing $10. 217. Let's try that. It's a little past the period, but we'll give it a shot. Sometimes it's worth it just to kind of test the market a little bit. see where the line is. Some Burn She-Hulk, but I don't think that's a huge book. This one I don't think so is either. Gil Kane, obviously. It's clearly a Gil Kane face. Actually, there's the GK right there. Assuming I put that on screen, you can see it. The hell is this? A little card floating around in here. A couple of little cards. 1993 annuals. Huh. What do you think of that? What do you think of that, Stan? Huh? What are we going to do with those? Maybe I'll just tuck it in a book as a free bonus. Somebody will open a book and be like, what the hell? Score! So, since Showcase was revived briefly because it was the famous tryout issue of the 60s, revived for a brief run in the 70s, and this issue 100 was quite a stunt. It's got some issues down here in the corner of these folds, but and up here as well. But I think we'll try it as a single. This is a neat issue in that it starred every single character who had ever had a tryout in Showcase. Now, obviously, you know, the Silver Age Flash, Barry Allen, and the Hal Jordan Green Lantern famously got their starts in Showcase, but so did Hawk and Dove. The Spectre got his Silver Age kind of launch. Space Ranger, Aquaman had a run. The Atom had his first, the Ray Palmer Atom had his first appearance. Lois Lane, she had an early run in Showcase prior to getting her own title. The Metal Men debuted in Showcase, as did Batlash, the Creeper. Tommy Tomorrow had a run. The Teen Titans had a run. The Inferior 5, you can see back here, they first appeared in Showcase, as did the Challengers of the Unknown. Can't really make out who the hell that is. Oh, that's probably Sea Devils right there. Enemy Ace. Angel and the Ape. So it really was quite a feat how they worked in all the characters into the story, because some of them, like Angel and the Ape and the rock band the Maniaks, I think that's who that is back there, they were a little tough to work in. But they are all there. Let's take a look. Take a look. Got some nice Joe Staton art. As a matter of fact, there's Angel and the Ape right there. So what have we got on this page? We got Batlash, Angel, the Ape, Anthro. I don't know if I know who those people are. There's the Inferior 5. There's Tommy Tomorrow. Is that Binky? Who the hell is that? Oh, it is. Yep, see Binky. Firehair. So, there you go. This is issue 102. Hawkman got a little run here in Showcase. Ooh, look at this. Joker #1. It's not super high grade. Matter of fact, it is detached at the bottom staple, as you can see. But that should still bring at least $10. Here is #4. Green Arrow. What do we get here? Silver Age Spidey. That's always good. Here's a little better condition. Another Silver Age Spidey. One of the Crisis on Campus issues that Stan Lee, our pal here, when he was doing his college tours, giving speeches at all the college campuses, seemed like every Marvel issue had one of these calamity, crisis, crack up on campus, student protest issues. All right. Unexpected. Previously, Tales of the Unexpected. And these we will try all as singles, I think. Even if they're not super... Well, that one maybe not. That's pretty low grade. Got a big spine roll. This one, oh, maybe not as well. It's a little beat up. This one, despite the condition, it's a little earlier, so maybe we'll try it. Here's, as I said, Tales of the Unexpected, when it was more of sci-fi than horror. That's definitely worth, even though it's got that 1.5-inch rip here in the cover. It's actually the cover and the first page. That's worth trying. Here's another one with a big-ass long rip in the cover. See that? Oh, actually, it's that rip doesn't go all the way through. It's a rip and then like a hole. But that's mid-60s. We'll try it anyway. Oh, it's got it on the back cover too. So go through. Yeah, I was gonna say, does it go through every page? Huh. What do you think? Should we do that as a single, or is it too beat up? Is it too beat up? Oh, yeah, look at this. That rip right there. Can you see that? If I get the light. That goes through the entire book. Look at that. So yeah, that's out as a single. Avengers 25, Doctor Doom, that's a single in almost any condition. Even kind of beat up like this one. There's a Daredevil 13. It looks like somebody they've traced the figure in ink, and somehow it looks like they've erased and redrawn the face. That's fucked up. Excuse my language. I realized as soon as I said that, oops, do I have this marked as kid-friendly? Here's something I've never noticed before, though. This staircase, look at this in the background. The staircase to nowhere. There's the ceiling right there. It just goes up and stops at the ceiling, and that's as equally fucked up as this figure. that earns a definite, for sure, fucked up. I don't care if this I won't get demonetized. I'm about 700 viewers away from subscribers away from that, but even being a possibility. But that is so weird. A staircase that literally goes nowhere. It just goes up to the ceiling and stops. And see, you've got all those blocks. This is like some kind of Egyptian tomb false ceiling nonsense. Huh. That's messed up. But it is Daredevil 13. So even though this is all traced and defaced, I'm going to try it. Here's some Thor annuals, or king-size specials, if you will. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. Skull the Slayer, number 1. Ooh, this has got in this lot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think, was this a 7-issue series or 8? I forget how long this lasted. Sometimes it's worth, even if they would do well as singles, it's worth it if you've got a complete run to do it as a lot anyway, because sometimes you'll get a premium, if people can buy the full set. But if you're not familiar with Skull the Slayer, here's issue 1. Here's issue 2. And I think this was a Marv Wolfman creation. Here's 3. Number 4. Here's 5. Boom, ba-dum. 6. The big ass shark. Boom, boom. 7. Is this a price variant? No, I guess that's just the first 30 cents. I'll have to look that up. Maybe I'll look it up right now. You wait a second. Let me get my phone. You let me get my phone. I'll make a cut here. It is probably not, because most of the price variants had a jagged little box. Was that an Alanis Morissette song, Jagged Little Box? Or am I thinking of Gwyneth Paltrow and her pussy candle? Her Jagged Little Box. Oh my god, this video is totally not kid friendly. My internet's being slow. Here we go. So issue 6 did have a price variant, but not 7. 5 and 6 both had price variants. So the regular price was 25 cents, but there was also a 30-cent variant of issue 5 and 6. And so those 30-cent variants go for about 40 bucks in near mint, whereas the regular goes in for about 12 bucks. Maybe I should not be doing this as these as singles. This is these prices I'm giving are according to comicbookrealm.com. But 7 is the actual price at 30 cents. And here we've got a Mar-Vell Special Edition. Kind of rough. Since it's a reprints, I think we'll pull that and stick it in an auction lot. A multi-book lot. Alright, what do we get here? A couple of loose books. Giant size Captain America #1. That should do okay. Giant size Captain Mar-Vell #1. An annual collection of Mar-Vell's greatest combats. Wow. My goodness, what do you think of that? I'm still thinking about Alanis Morissette and Gwyneth Paltrow's Jagged Little Box. Oh, I'm gonna burn in hell. Thor 248. And I mentioned in a recent video, we put up a bunch of Thors from the early Bronze Age recently, and they did really well. As long as they were about, 6'5", 7 or better, they did, 25, 30 bucks. Some down into 20, but, it was when they got under 5, 4, 5, then they dropped right off a cliff down to about 3 bucks. So all of these, when I sit down to grade them, and they're passing right now just on a quick look, but when I sit down to grade them, as long as there are 6 or more, I'll try them as singles. That one's pretty decent. Well, maybe not. It's got a little pencil mark there. These are all just 2-book lots, huh? Or were 204. So it looks like whoever did these originally was dangerously close to selling them as singles as is. Here's Thor. Odin the Slave. 19. Got an arrival date written there. This one also has an arrival date written on it. Boom, boom. Fantastic Four. Now we're getting a little touchy. Once we start getting into the 35-cent era, that's about 1977 or so. And granted, that is, 40 years. Some odd. 77, 87, 97, 07, 70. Yeah, it's 43 years. It's a little lower grade. I'm going to say no to that one. I'm going to go ahead. This one's nice. I'm going to go ahead and say yes to that one. That's in nice shape. This one is also, that's a beautiful condition book. I will say yes to that one. Try it as a single. These are looking very 9-ish. And when I was talking about Gwyneth's jagged little box earlier, it wasn't this. This is the jagged little box that indicated it was a direct sales. Initially, when the direct market first came about, they'd either draw a line through the UPS box or leave the UPS blank. And that was because they didn't want direct sales outlets, comic book shops, trying to return the books through the newsstand vendors, because a lot of them would still get books through the newsstand vendor. They might order just enough direct sales books to get them through the week or two until the newsstand books would come in, and and the newsstand books were returnable. And so to keep them from returning direct sales books, which were supposed to be a permanent sale, trying to return them through the newsstand vendor, the publishers started to differentiate. But then they started doing different things with the price box as well to make it a little easier to spot. It's a fairly nice looking issue of number 200. And 60 cents at the time. That was almost twice the price of a regular comic book. Can you imagine? I remember when I was like, 60 cents? Holy vey, are you kidding me? And now today we're paying what? $4, $5, $6 for a comic book? For a comic book that takes, this would have taken you a half hour, 40 minutes to read. It was pretty dense. Well, I can find a story page. There you go. And you had a lot to read there. And it wasn't just word salad. I mean, there was a lot going on. A modern comic book, this one word balloon, that's about how many words you'll have on the entire page. You read an entire book in about 7 minutes. Plus you had, letters, pages, and other things back then. So, it was 30, 45 minutes it would take you to read a comic book, as opposed to, 5, 6, 7 minutes today. So it was a much better entertainment value. But I mean, those of you who have watched these videos before, this is an old rant for you. So, because it's a newbie rant. If you're new here, welcome to your first encounter with something you're going to hear me say a lot. One of my frequent complaints about modern comics. And that's why really, I tell people, what should I buy for comics? Don't buy any new comics. Very few new comics that are really worth it. Save your money, and get back issues. Because even these, I mean, there's a lot of stores out there where these particular issues, I'm betting these will sell for at least $10 on eBay. But there's a lot of stores that might have these in bins for $2, $3, $4, $5. The equivalent of a regular modern comic book for twice the entertainment value at least. Here's some Super Scroll action. And, if they're selling them for, much less than modern comics, well, that much better. So I think you will enjoy books from the Bronze Age, right up maybe into the Copper Age. Much, much better. Much, much better than you would the new books. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Of your comic book budget, how much do you, well, I don't have to tell me dollars, but what percentage do you spend on new books versus what percentage do you spend on old comics? And has that changed recently? I know for myself, my monthly comic book budget, more and more of it in the last few years has gone to digging in dollar boxes and trying to score deals and filling holes in the collection. Here, I bet you didn't know that Thundra and Tigra were both members of the Fantastic Four for a time. But more and more of my budget goes into older books rather than the new ones. This, as I believe, this was my first issue of Fantastic Four as a kid. Really couldn't resist that thing charging out at you going, "It's clobbering time!" And then Flame On. which is a little funnier these days. And then, back then it was taken quite literally and quite seriously. But now it has other connotations. Is some Torch v Torch. All new album issue. Well, generally an album issue means clip art. It's a kind of a review. It's a way to fill a hole with a late book. Of course, back then, deadlines were sacrosanct. You couldn't send a book late to the printer or to the distributor. You had to do what you needed to do, whether it was an inventory story or a clip art story or whatever you needed to do to make deadline. We saw this book in the last box, but it was in a lot better shape. I think that one we're not going to try as a single. This one we will. What a freaking crazy logo. It's just that hawk claw. So 174. High Evolutionary. Oh, I loved this book as a kid. Yeah, maybe that was my first one. What? Because I remember that book as a kid. What was the issue number in this other one? I might be misremembering. If I can find it again. So that was 181. This is 176. So what I said earlier, forget that. Forget I said it. This was my first Fantastic Four book as a kid. I totally remember this book. Yep. With the Impossible Man. Pop, pop, pop. An Impossible Man versus Ambush Bug book. That would be a good Marvel DC crossover. As a matter of fact, it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that Ambush Bug and Impossible Man are actually the same person. This one, I think with that big thing there, maybe I'll pull that for a lot as well. More FF with the Dutch angle here on the pose. Dutch angle is when the angles tilt a little bit, like here. Back in my newspaper days, my editor used to get crazy on me because I would do those Dutch angles. She's like, "Your pictures make me dizzy." There's some Ultron. Some more Thundra action. That one's pretty rough. We'll pull that one for a lot. There's a giant size number 3. Those are rough in the back. What's going on the back? Well, it's just, I've told you before, these were often, the Marvel giant size often came off the press just absolutely, the spine just crushed. And you can see here, well, hopefully you can see, this back cover has got these folds in it, and those are press folds. That's not something from handling after the book was purchased. That came off the press just like that. It went through the roller a little funky. A little funky monkey. Little funky monkey. Like Gwyneth's jagged box. Laughing so hard I keep making my nose run. So you didn't know that Luke Cage was a member of the Fantastic Four? His tenure wasn't very long. I mean, 2 or 3, 4 issues, something like that. But he replaced the Thing when he was one of the bazillion and one times he was depowered. So here he is. Bedlam in the Baxter Building. Dun, dun, dun. Here's some more. Look at that. Knocked Alicia right out of the Right out of the Fantastic car. What a dick. That's kind of a cool cover. This is kind of a cool cover, I think. You know, really though, Ben, you might as well just let yourself get eaten. I think he's going to choke on you. You're going to break a tooth anyway. Here's an annual or king-size special. Is the mole man actually holding that box? I guess he is, isn't he? That's weird. That's some metatextual fourth wall foolishness. Iron Man does whatever iron can. 51, Swing Blade, Die Avenger. 52, Raga, Son of Fire. This one's 53, that's a little beat up. What's the first Thanos? Is it 54, 55? I better look that up. It better not be that issue. Ba-ba-dum. Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum. Ba-ba-dum. Does whatever iron can. Is he strong? Yes, indeed. He's got iron for a sleeve. Oh, yeah. Here come the Iron Man. Yeah, so it's 54 and 55. 54, cameo of Thanos and Drax. 55, first full appearance of Thanos and Drax. Also the first full appearance of a mentor. And the first cameo appearance of Star Fox. So 54 and 55, that's 53. That doesn't do us any good. Here's 45. Boom, boom, Calamity on Campus. See, I told you. Stan, you crazy. You crazy. That'd make a good lot, actually, to put together all of those crack up Calamity student protest on campus issues as one lot. 46, 47. Hell is a man called Micus. Quite a costume you're wearing there, Micus. 44. The Night Phantom. King size special number 1. Boom. Here's 51. '57 with the Mandarin. Looking very Sunan Khan there with the big old manly chest. 58. Mandarin and the Unicorn. 77 with the, is that the Red Ghost? '78. Vietnam. You gotta love again the coloring. You know, Asians are orange. This one's a little rough. That one we're not gonna do as a single. All right. Here's 65. Dr. Spectrum appears in this issue. 60. Oh, that one's pretty rough too. Pull that one. 67 looks good. Hey, we just saw this issue. With Fire Lord, no, Fire Brand. The Marauder. Look at this. 53 and then 56. So we're missing the two we want, 54 and 55. I'm not surprised. Those would have gone to CGC or at least been sold as singles. Fangor. Here's one we just saw. That one's pretty low grade. We'll pull that one out. Boom, boom. 49. We'll fold there, but otherwise decent. Something weird going on here at the top. That looks like a printing error. Boom, boom. There's 51 and 52 we've seen already. Back to Avengers. Told you before, this was my first Avengers issue as a kid. Boom. Here's a great issue. The Wonder Man and the Grim Reaper. Some groovy George Perez art. Here's the one that always cracks me up. With the Avengers utterly decimated by some ants. But that one's rough as hell. This is another one that should go not just in the dollar box, but right in the round file. There's some Avengers. And who knows, the inclusion of that one book in the lot might be why it didn't sell. If that's one that didn't get a bid. Could be one that just wasn't paid for, but it could be the same reason. They were like, I really don't want to pay that much for that. So here is some nice looking issues of the 70s run of Aquaman. His issue was canceled in the 60s, brought back in the 70s for kind of a brief run. And I love the Jim Aparo art. Jim Aparo is one of my favorite artists. This actually, yeah, it does look like Jim Aparo, but it doesn't look like it's inked by him. No, I guess it is. Find a page with actual art on it. Well, fuck it. Facing off against Cobra. Cobra was the kind of the big whoop of the 70s. Even had his own title for a while. Maybe you didn't know, but at least in the original continuity, Mera and Aquaman had a baby that died. It died as a result of a super villain battle. It's a nice cover. My Fish Beat Your Fish. Secret Society of Supervillains. This was a favorite title of mine when I was a kid. I really enjoyed this book and broke my heart when it was canceled in the DC implosion. Captain Comet, Trickster, Gorilla Grodd, Kid Flash. This particular Star Sapphire was not Carol, what's her name? I got Lombard on the brain. That's not right. Ferris, Carol Ferris. That Star Sapphire was somebody else. But at the time, we didn't know. We had no idea. Some more Iron Man books we've seen already, but that's okay. There's that Campus issue again. There's that Mandarin Unicorn issue again. MODOK. Is that MODOK? Yes, it is MODOK. MODOK with a body. That's crazy. 75. And this is the last stack in the box. Looks like we're going to finish up with Iron Man. Yep, they're all Iron Man the rest of the way. This one's... That's a little rough. We're not going to put that as a single. That one, I think not. It's a little brown too. This one we will though, maybe. Here's some more Firebrand action for you. It's not a bad costume, frankly. Man, we've seen this book about 12 times in this box. Princess Python. Presenting Princess Python. Stan liked his alliteration. Not that he would have written that. This one's not going to make it as a single. That's too beat up. There's another one we've seen a bunch of in this box. And there's that damn issue again. Wow. Well, there can't be that many copies of this issue on the market because I think I got them all right here. And same with this one. Boom, boom. Here we go. And this last one, ooh, that's not going to make it as a single. All right. Well, what do you think? That's that. I hope you enjoyed that. I was a little light on the commentary that time. I was just kind of sorting. And so, yeah, I hope that was enjoyable for you. But, you know, if it wasn't, like, share, and subscribe anyway. Give me a pity like. I don't care. I'm not above, you know, asking for a pity like. I'm not proud. Even a negative comment actually helps with the algorithm. So if you hated this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs down and leave a nasty comment. That's fine too. But anyway, until the next video, thank you for watching, and goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.